Welcome back in. You're watching St. Joseph's Candler Living Smart in the Lowcountry, and we've talked about a lot of smart technology that they have right here on site. Talking, of course, right in front of this Hyperbarics chamber, an impressive piece of machinery, and there's two of them here. We're going to learn a little bit more about how to actually prepare for an appointment here. Suzie is back with us now, and we've also got a patient joining us. This is David. Thanks for taking some time with us today.
Sure.
So a lot to know. I want to get a little bit of feedback about your experience. To start though, I want to share with our viewers, Suzie, a little bit about specifics on how to plan for an appointment here. What do they need to do?
So in order to make an appointment here, all one would have to do is get their medical records from their general practitioner, any important labs, any important x-rays that they might need, and then all they need to do is give our office a call and speak with our front office coordinator, Caitlin Rowland, and we'll go from there and schedule an appointment with one of our physicians.
So you can actually self-refer, it sounds like.
You can,
That's
yes,
nice to know.
as long as you have some sort of medical records that our physicians can look at prior.
Oh, very helpful to know. Okay, now the specifics about what do we actually do to get ready to get in, because we learned a little bit about the science behind this machine. And so there's some things you need to know before you actually hop in the machine. What do we need to know?
Well, number one, a patient needs to have scrubs on, and they are not allowed to have any kind of metal on their clothing because our machinery is very expensive and it can actually scratch our equipment very easily. So no earrings, no zippers, so that's why it's important that when the patient gets here, we'll have them go into our room and put a pair of scrubs on and make sure they remove all their jewelry or whatever before they go into the machine.
Okay, so some details we don't want to forget about. All right. More importantly, though, is really talking about the outcomes here. And that's one of the most impressive things about the science of this machine is what it's able to do for you in terms of care. David, I'd love to hear from you to talk to us a little bit about how this was able to help you.
Basically, primarily, I did it because Dr. Hassan told me to. But it's supposed to increase the oxygen in your blood, speed up the healing process, and get you better quicker.
Absolutely. Well, and that's what it's all about, right? So you want to get better, of course, but the quicker you can get your care to be working for you, the better. And sometimes with wound care, it really can be, a long-term process and some of the other things that you're treating here. So having this to really help that treatment plan is important for folks to know. All right, let's talk a little bit more about this plan specifically now. Is this a treatment plan that you do once? Is it something that you're doing weekly? Talk to us about how often.
I did it, I'm pretty sure, at least 4 times a week, and it is something that generally involves 16 visits, 20 visits, but it's worthwhile.
So you get to know the folks here pretty well.
Oh, intimately.
I've heard the staff is wonderful. Touch on that a little bit, if you would, about the level of care you were able to receive from the personnel here.
Oh, well, they're outstanding. I wouldn't probably have a social life if I didn't come here. No, they're really neat, interesting, and very professional people.
Absolutely wonderful. Well, I think that's great for folks to know anytime you're going through, any kind of a treatment plan, really being able to go somewhere where you're comfortable, especially, when you're going through something that might be a little bit, uncomfortable in terms of just mentally what you're dealing with. I'd love to, before we wrap up our show today, Suzie, for you to give our viewers at home a little bit more about what to expect when you're actually in the machine. Do you hear anything? Do you feel anything? What is it like?
You don't hear anything, you don't feel anything. You're actually able to watch movies, videos of your choice while you're actually in the machine itself. And if I might add one more thing, normally treatments in the HBO machine are 2 hours. And we like to do it at least 4 times a week, if not 5 times a week. We just get a better prognosis that way.
Yeah, well, that's helpful to know. Anytime you can ease people's minds with a little bit of information, I think that's great, and hearing directly from a patient, even better. So thanks for doing that today.
Oh, sure.
We appreciate it. Lots of great things happening here, trying to get you healthy. We'll be right back after this break.